Jerome Small is an Oglala Lakota from Porcupine, South Dakota on the Pine Ridge Reservation. He's a graduate from the University of South Dakota with an MA in Selected Studies and retired after 20 years at the University of South Dakota, where he taught Lakota Language, American Indian Thought, Siouan Tribal Culture, Early Native American History. He is featured in the book Wounded Warriors, A Time for Healing, and has a story in the Silver Anniversary Anthology published by the South Dakota Humanities Council. Mr. Kilsma has had parts in several videos. He is a storyteller for public schools, museums, and colleges. He translates, explains, and sings Lakota, ceremonial, sweat lodge, powwow, rabbit, round dance, warrior, vision quest, and Sundance songs. He sings with the Iron Wing Singers of Wagner, South Dakota. He's a powwow organizer, announcer, arena director, and helps in conducting Lakota ceremonies. He portrayed Tecumseh, a Shawnee chief and British general. He also portrayed Dr. Charles Alexander Eastman, the first Dakota medical doctor. Among his extensive community leadership, Mr. Kilsma has been on the board of directors for the Native American Advocacy Program. Please welcome Mr. Jerome Kilsma.
Good afternoon. I'm Jerome Kilsma, and I'm presenting Harvesting Foods and Medicines in the Lakota Homelands and Dakota Homelands. There's a lot of our prairie grasses. The Missouri extends west, and then east is Dakota, East River. West of the Missouri is Lakota. And so we have to sometimes clarify that although there's not that much difference. And here I have some, I have tobacco. People give me tobacco, so I have a number of chashasha, a number of tobacco. I always be given some tobacco, and sometimes when I'm asked to pray or to be able to even start a conference, they offer me tobacco to pray invocation. So a lot of times tobacco is our intercessor to sacredness. It's a symbol that we have a sanctity about what we do. So a lot of these are little rituals. Rituals tells the people when they see that what's inside of us we display by various symbols. And these I got from, they still have Lucky Strikes in Belgium. And also this one from France. You know, different tobaccos that I was given when I was there. I visit other countries and different places to present a lot of other things that I do with language. So a lot of our language is concerned with the plants. And so when we have a distinct thread that runs through all the medicines, then you know that there's connections in the language. And Lakota, it's easy to follow a lot of the root words. So we know that that's what it means. It concerns plants. I'm going to start with the fumigants or smoke medicines. And one of those I showed you is the tobacco. We put it in our chanupa, as generally known as peace pipe. You know, we put that. Some people say kanik kanik. Some people say chonshasha. But a lot of people blend. We have blends. And the one that is for migraines or headaches is the outer bark of the chokecherry. And the outer bark of the chokecherry then is the Uh, we cut it in small pieces and granulate it like tobacco and mix it into the red willow inner bark of the red willow. That one we cut down to like a small size. So we have a tobacco mixture like this. It'll be like this tobacco mixture, and so it's so that one of them is that the headache. The headache is goes away. Hopefully, it probably doesn't work for everybody, but those that enjoy the uh, the experience. Then one person came over after I was in the Inikakapi, the sweat lodge, and I used my tobacco blend, and including the outer bark of the chokecherry and red willow and a little bit of this and that, some little bit of cedar, and a little bit of sage, not too much, just to make a blend. And a new modern, say, 1800s medicine that was flourishing from Oregon, and came out towards the west. And that was the wide-leafed one that grows on the prairies. And so it's called mullein. Mullein. That's a respiratory medicine for coughing. And the bear root, the smoke of the bear root is also good for respiratory. A lot of times they put bear root on, cut it in small pieces or granulate it, sprinkle it on the stones in the lodge. Whoever had colds and congested chest, then they would smell that, and then it goes into the body and it loosens up the phlegm, so you could cough and break your cough. Oh, that feels good when you finally break your cough from a congested chest. And so that is very good to know. Here I have the anise. Anise. And sometimes this anise seeds we sprinkle and put it on the stones, so it pops. And then the smell of the anise, that is also a respiratory medicine. Yeah, this is the star plant here. The star plant is anise star plant. Like this. I chew this. I always chew the star plant, to get a little piece of it and chew it. And it's good for your chest. Not too much, just enough to have that flavor in your spit, and just chew it, and then the spit goes down and cleanses your lungs. I don't advise everybody to be doing that, because you have to ask your physician first about all these herbs, because you might be taking a medicine prescribed from the doctor that might not agree with other medicinal plants and even other pills. You have to be very wise to not dive into things. Diversity doesn't mean diving in. We have to learn gradually learn things, and then you could enjoy the immersion with a group of regional people who use certain plants for their medicines. And if they did it all their lives in their family tree, then they're accustomed to it. What we call nostalgia or body memory. Your body remembers the taste, and if it remembers back when you were well, and you're sick now, but when your body remembers when you were well, it's easier to heal. even with the songs, even with sound. We have sounds that we always hear. The same songs over and over. Then we would, when we get sick, we hear that same sound. Maybe somebody came to pray and they started singing a song, and then you would start remembering, and your body feels back to when it was well. I'm hopeful of a lot of things that I say, that I hope the body remembers when it was well, so it'll help to heal. It might not work for everybody once again, but I'm always hopeful because our body does remember things that was good for the body. So there's smells and tastes and sound and feeling, feeling even in your heart, your say prayers that mean a lot. It affects your heart and makes you feel better. All those things combined, medicine, songs, and feelings, taste, even hearing, all those combined. When a medicine man does everything to help the body, they call it the bear medicine. Bear medicine. Because why? Because the bear eats everything. It has long claws, or it could dig and get honey, and they dig and get plants in the ground, dig it up, the roots that they eat, and all the things to sustain itself, because it's gonna be sleeping all winter. So it needs all those healing vitamins and the sustenance that makes their body strong and sleeping well. Copy the bear. Copy the bear. They eat bear roots. They probably could find some sweet grass. They could find honey. Get some honey. They're a good symbol of being able to eat roots, berries, teas, tree barks, all of those things that we could use to help our body sustain itself and be a good thing. And then we have, of course, we have another plant that we use to, an odor of sanctity, the sweet grass. It smells so good. You use this, it's like mystical and wakan, it's sacred, but it also have practical uses. This, if you store it with your feathers, I got plumes right here. I'm getting ready to make plumes for the girls, for women coming of age. It has 6 big plumes on this one in here. You store it beside, if you have an open case where you keep your feathers and plumes, like this one here. This is open. This is a case. It says, our children are sacred. Tribal education. It's in here. I have plumes and feathers, and I put sweetgrass alongside the feathers, or just put it on top, and it keeps the micromites away. The little bugs or beings that eat feathers and plumes and fur and wool. When you store your sweet grass with the things that you treasure, that you don't want micromites to be eating, then you could be assured that your feathers will stay good and intact. I saw some people's feathers that have holes in them, and I know then that they didn't store their feathers right. Sometimes I was given a whole big bag of feathers one time. They all had holes in them, so they just gave them to me, and they didn't know how to get rid of them, so they gave them to me. And so I probably still have them, but I put sweetgrass beside them because I could use the stems, and I could use it as a bottom part of other feathers. If the feather is too short, I would add at the bottom, splice it in and add to the feathers to be a little bit longer. You have to have a good eye to make the feathers match, to make it extended. It's a skill. I'm a feather worker. I make I put the medicine wheel on the feathers and the green catchers. So I got 15 right here. 15 medicine wheels. They look like this. They look like that medicine wheel. Yeah. And I got a little tiny one here. I have a little tiny medicine wheel. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I don't want to put it in my hat. I think it's too sacred to just be wearing around. Some things you keep sanctus. Sacrosanct. Sacrosanct. You only do things in spiritual times or during ceremonies or during sacred rituals. You don't generally just use them any place. But people can. It's just me. I'm so much into trying to do things the right way and be an example of doing things the right way. And that keeps us to keep our ways in a traditional. A tradition is built by when you do something the same all the time, over and over, then you'll know that it'll be preserved because you have a model, ancestral model that you just keep, so it won't change. It's sacrosanct. You only use some things in sacred times. This is flat cedar. Flat cedar. It has practical uses also, but we generally use this to put on our we use them to put it in our call it tukki. A tukki, if you have one, it's good to have a tukki. It's a abalone shell. Abalone shell. And we always roll up the sage. You roll up sage to put the, I got sage in here. I always carry this little blue bag with sage in it. So I'll be ready with if there's a powwow and somebody says, did anybody bring any sage? I'll say, over here, over here. Hit the drum twice, boom, boom. I got sage over here. So you could share in the circle of people, you could share your sage. It burns, you put it on here. You could sprinkle the sweet grass on top of it. I mean, the flat cedar on top of it. That's what I do. Just take some of these and sprinkle it over it, and it smells good. Yeah, this is another odor of sanctity. The flat cedar. We usually use it for blessing our chanupa. When we bless our chanupa, we hold it over the smoke and we bless it, bless our chanupa. So we're able to really, have a good feeling about ourselves. You feel that you're doing the right thing, or you feel that you're doing something handed down for thousands of years. That's why I said, don't change it. That will last for thousands of years. Some people want to change things, and it's okay. I'm not against change because the next generation might have a certain style that they like, and it's theirs. It belongs to that generation. So we know that uh, by change, we know we're growing. By change, we know we're growing. But if you're really traditional, some things you keep, once again, same to same, keep it the way it always was. Things could grow around it. Things could enhance the ceremony around it. But that main core of a ritual, you keep the same way all the time. We still, uh, those that do, sing the morning song, you know, of welcoming the sun. Maybe nobody hardly does that anymore. I do when I remember, but I always pray every morning as soon as my feet hit the ground. As soon as I get up in my bed, from my bed, my feet hit the floor. I remember to start praying. And that's, I set that up so I could remember to pray. When my feet hit the floor, remember, boom, pray to get your day ready. And sometimes it goes well because you set up your mind and your being for anticipations. I know something's going to be there where it shouldn't be. A car might come around the corner at 80 miles an hour, and you're there going to cross. So you kind of, well, we know, stop, look, and listen, right? But sometimes you have to do it 3 or 4 times because we don't know what's going to happen. So we set it up ourselves to be alert. Alert. That's what I say prayer does, is alert our souls. Alert and be ready for things that we know we have no control over, but at least I'm intact in my sacredness that I could expect to be strong no matter what. We say, strengthen yourself. That's a common word you hear a lot of times in Lakota Nation. Strengthen yourself. You hear it at wakes, or at funerals. Someone to be crying, you just go over and say, strengthen yourself, it'll be okay. And it helps to know that somebody has concern. That's Walakota. Concern, kinship, generosity, and there's a number of other values, not only four, no, there's probably hundreds of values that we can share in different situations. Don't confine yourself to smaller numbers. They're sacred. They're the ones that carried us through all these times. But outside of that circle, then we have spiraling out, right? It spirals out like the point in a winter count. You start that date and it spirals around and around. It goes outward. A circle isn't still. A circle goes outward and reaches more people. The sacredness of the people, it goes bigger and bigger. And it tells us stories of every year, the important things that happen on that winter count. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger and bigger. Soon it'll be as big as some of those galaxies up there that spread in the circle, spraying outwards, reaching a lot of places. Oh, I don't want to look at way up at the stars, way up there. It's just so immense. And it makes me feel so small, but at least I'm part of it. That's the main thing. At least I'm part of all of this. Look at it. I could see and feel and hear and smell and all, enjoy all the plants, everything. So these are the smoke medicines. There are many, many more, that we use to bless people and use at certain ceremonies. They're always a good thing that we have a smoke culture also. We have a smoke culture. And the next one I would like to tell is some of the plants that are really medicinal. So we'll get that done at least. And one of them is the Ojijinka, the rosebud berry. The rosebud berry. Rose hip you'll see in the like GNC, the drugstore. They have vitamin C with rose hip on the side with rose hip. Well, we knew about it, but we didn't have pills. We had the little round berries. Maybe I have some. I don't know. I didn't look through this for a while, but I have a lot of things. And, the rosebud berry. I don't have any. No, no, I don't have any. Okay, so this is yeah, the rosebud berry, a handful of it. Put it in a saucepan with water, of course, and you boil it, and you boil it till you feel that it's a tea. You look in, oh, it looks kind of nice color, orangish red. It's really looks nice, and I know it's going to help me. And the rosebud berry is good for colds. It's a respiratory medicine, and vitamin C. It has vitamin C content. No, Lakota, we didn't know about vitamin C or anything. We just know by trial and error what was good for certain ailments. And when I was a small boy and we were sleigh riding, I used to have my sled and going up the hill again, go up the hill. And when we're going at the bottom of the hills, there's always brush, and you could see the rosebud berries still hanging on the branches. That's one good medicine that stays on the branches, so you can go pick one, and they're still soft, nice, and juicy. And so you chew it. Don't bite into the little bag that's inside. Those are the seeds. You gotta have good, like, teeth and tongue to roll the good fruit and eat it. And then, of course, you could sprinkle then the seeds all over for the next generation of medicines. You have to have those harvesting skills. Anyway, and so, but I never did get a cold. You know, my pants, bottom part of my pants would be all wet at one time. Then when it gets colder towards evening, they start to freeze and they start to stiffen. It's a frozen pants, and sometimes you can barely bend our legs. We're still going one more time. Our pants are all frozen. Well, here we go again. But we never did catch colds. I mean, I did. You know, I don't know if the rest of them chewed the rosebud berry. I did because I was hungry too. I would chew that, and I knew to sprinkle the seeds because Grandma and Grandpa did. You know, and yeah, in the Kalala, yeah, best. You know, go sprinkle it all over, and so they're really good people like that. They were considerate of the next generation of plants and people, of course. You know, you have to be mindful that we need one another. Plants need us to propagate. You know, open seeds have to be on the ground when it's frozen cold, so that the ice cold would crack the seeds. It gives it trauma and it breaks the seeds. And some of the seeds need fire, like the trees that grow, especially in California. You have the acorn trees, and the acorn needed fire to break the seeds to have the next generation of little oak trees to grow. You know, they used to have controlled fires over there underneath the trees and make the seeds to propagate by fire. So it's hard to say, but sometimes we need trauma to start growing again. It's hard to say that because sometimes we people have traumas too, natural catastrophes or violence, you know, things that make us afraid, you know, and that's the trauma part. Or sometimes we have a bike accident and the crash and the sight of the crash would make us have trauma by a natural accident. My life started when I was in a blizzard when I was 4 years old, and it scared me to life because before then I never heard a hum in the sky or the whistles around the log house. You know, those were scary and traumatic for me. So it woke my little boyhood awareness alive. Seemed like from then on, I started to register or become conscious of things. So I started to then by that little natural catastrophe, natural trauma, I started to be Jerome. So we have to be mindful of things. You know? So we asked the mommy about a little bit. Well, no, what she It's the conscience of life now. So let's check. Boy, Chichula, does he feed himself? Ah, Naku, he uses a spoon. Chishka. Oh, he's gonna live forever, I would say, because they could feed himself. The rest of the people would help to give him food, share food, you know, and always. Yesterday, a nice person over in Valentine. I went to tell stories over there, and one of the people brought me the this is a buffalo, fried buffalo jerky, and says Golden Prairie Bison, and they gave me this little bag. You could snack on it. I could just have one at a time. It's really a good thing just to have taste and just enough to swallow just one of these little squares. Lasts for a long time because your body's digestion and work enjoying it yet. The buffalo eats all kinds of buffalo grass, clover, wild oats, all kinds of things on the earth. You know, it's a vegan, vegetarian, and it eats all these wonderful power plants. And so the buffalo then it has all the vitamins necessary. So if I eat it, it has all the vitamins necessary for me to live forever. That's why they call us the Buffalo Nation, because the buffalo itself fortified itself with all the vitamins necessary. It has vitamin K, even vitamin E, A, B, all the vitamins you need is contained in that one animal. That's why we don't have Lakota salad. You ever have a Lakota salad? How about Lakota salad dressing? Nah, I don't think so. Because it's in the buffalo meat already. You know, we really revered the meat, the buffalo of long ago when there was buffalo all over the prairies. That's what we lived on. We learned when the buffalo would sacrifice itself, and we would honor it by eating and pray with it. We used the uh, buffalo robe for ceremonies, or hambalecha. We cover ourselves. We lay on it when we're pierced for the Sundance. Many uses of the buffalo robe. We sleep on it or cover up with it. It'll keep you warm. And the skull we use in ceremony, the buffalo skull. Some people make a commitment and pull skulls, ropes tied in the long line of buffalo skulls, and they pierced their back, each side, the skin, and then they pull, sacrifice for the people, sacrifice of this meaningful animal that sacrificed itself so we may live. We honor them in ceremony. They got to know that we honor them. We don't just slaughter them and forget about it, sustain ourselves, forget about it. No, we remember we're the Buffalo Nation. It kept us alive. Imagine that. Kept us alive for many, like thousands and thousands of years. You know. But after we started getting commodities and things, I think our health went. We got all kinds of ailments we weren't familiar with. So the medicine men couldn't know how to treat somebody that had a foreign disease because it wasn't here on Turtle Island. Whatever was here, the ailments, we could heal them, by a lot of our medicines. And the chamomile grows here, wow, outside my home. And sometimes Nancy picks them. You can put it in your salad, add to it, clean it, add to it. Or you could make a tea, for fevers and things. So it's a really good medicine. It resists many things in your body. I don't want to list them out, because I'm not a practitioner or a certified herbalist. And so I could tell stories about it, but I wouldn't. If I do, I say, ask your physician first, because I don't want to take the blame. And I said, Mr. Killsmall told me to use this and I got sicker. No, I don't want to hear it. I said, see your physician first. How about wakamiza? Dried corn. This is all colors of little corn. I see red in there, kind of yellow, kind of maroon color. Yeah, all kinds of different traditional the corn, wakamiza. This is ready to go in the pot. It's dry. It's been blanched and then pushed off the cob and then dried in the sun. Anything you dry in the sun gains more vitamins. So we dry the buffalo meat in the sun. It gains more vitamins by that sun. Yeah, our corn, our choke cherries that we pick and grind, or you grinders. You grind it as fine as possible. Make little hamburger patties of it. Dry it in the sun. More vitamins, right? Make wojapi. Yeah, make wojapi and able to feed the people. Or sometimes just in wasna. I got some corn wasna right here. This is just a sample of the wasna. There's corn in here. Fine. Smells good. This corn wasna I have here. And I got the papa right here, jerky, beef jerky. And choke cherries I used to have, but I don't know, not anymore. It must be someplace, right? It must be someplace. Here, keep sila. Some of these are long braids, about 7 feet, 6 feet, 5 feet, all depending on how many you pick. This is just a small bunch. This is enough for a small soup mixed with this. Some papa, and I like to add a little slice of salt to it. Oh, that makes that soup stock even taste a little bit better. Not too much, just enough to have a good taste. Uh, when you taste the soup, if it's made really well and has the stock of the ingredients, smell it, and when you taste it, you could taste it up here. You know, well, we call it wihampi manaya. Manaya means you could smell taste it. Did you ever smell taste something? It goes up here, you could taste it up here too. If you can't know what I'm talking about, eat some horseradish. You'll find out that you could taste up here. Try some horseradish, you'll find out, right? We got some here someplace, horseradish. Yeah, yeah, and so it's really a good thing to know all of these. Here's some uh, outer bark of the choke cherry. Outer bark. I didn't cut it down to be a tobacco yet. I was just saving this. So when I make my blend, at least I'll have some. I'll have some. And it's always good to remember to get some and start offer tobacco and take a little branch of a choke cherry and shave it and get your outer bark of the choke cherry. Always from the bottom, you know. So if you cut back, more will grow out from there. Remember to leave some buds. You cut some, leave some buds because those buds then will reach out and start growing more. Always leave the buds. Even if you take a little a straight branch, leave buds on the side. Cut up here, offer tobacco, of course. Cut up there, take your drumstick. You know, have a drumstick ready to go. That one right here. Got some ready to go. Yeah, I got ready to go. This is the latest one. This is not choke cherry though. This is black walnut from my backyard here. And I got ash, different kind of sticks. Black walnut's a hardwood. This would be like fiberglass. And I make drumsticks. There's one laying here someplace. Here's one I just completed. Here's one. This is ash. Yeah. Oh, drumstick ready to go. Someplace to sing for people. You could sing for yourself too. Each Iloa, sing for yourself. You know, light some sage and sprinkle some good uh, flat cedar or even just regular cedar, you know, and then you light it up, bless yourself and sing a song. Make a sound go through your body by your heart really loud. If you just go out in the woods someplace or in your room like this office, nobody can hear me outside out of here because if I call somebody out there, they don't hear me. And so I could sing loud in here. way, hey, way, hey, hey, yo. Oh, it makes you feel good right through here, right through by your lungs, and it makes your heart feel good. It massages your heart by that sound. The vibration helps you. The smells are here. Oh, the sound is there. Your little stick joined in, and even the wood. This is a log. Used to be. Now it's a drum. It's a log. Got buffalo hide on there. Even the handle is buffalo. Right here. Yeah. This is a drum from the early 1900s or late 1800s. This was given to me by a doctor, and his father's father acquired it from a man named Fast Horse a long time ago. And they were given things of his, that Dr. Grandpa's things that he kept from his grandpa, stored it for a long, long time. They gave me three war bonnets, and they gave me one of those hatchets, war hatchets or working hatchets to cut wood with. They gave me one of those, and they gave me a lance with a metal spearhead, long lance. And uh, they needed to find somebody to give them to so they could keep them and use them in a good way. So that's why every now and then use this one here because it's ancient. I like ancient stuff. And I use them because they thought that I would, so I do. And always preserve things for people. I have to tell where I got it. So that's how I carry history. Even the songs, the traditional songs that I just sang. That's a traditional song from a long time ago. But when you sing it at a powwow, the young ones come over. Hey, that sounds like a new one. Did you just make that up? So I said, no, that's an ancient song. I just keep them alive, keep things going. Synchrosync, right? Yeah. Remember that word? You keep some things sacred and original. You can tell it's a traditional song. It's not a bubblegum song, where you just make it up and sing fast and hit the drum hard and make the kids dance. That's their style. That's their generation. They love it. They're just bouncing all over, But some things we kind of tone it down and keep it old and that memory of those old people who brought us this far. All these plants that we have, I have a lead plant here. It's a medicine. You can make tea out of this. It helps in many, many different ways. A lot of these things you can Google. Lead plant, remember that. Whatever I say, you could look it up yourself because they have so much good information on the internet now. Remember I said root? Bear root? That's OSHA, OSHA, not the organization, but this is the plant, OSHA. And they'll tell that it is a respiratory medicine. Look up also rosehip or rosebud berries. Google it. It'll tell you that when you boil it, the longer you boil it, the more vitamin C you get. It increases the vitamin C as you boil it longer. By boiling it a long time means like maybe 15 minutes, not all day. 15 minutes will probably peak out the vitamin C limit that it could give its strongest vitamin C strength. Just to let you, I could say this because I studied it from one of my students who did research on it. As I talked about this, she decided to pick and study about the rosebud berry, the rosehip, and she wrote a really nice paper on it, citations of all kinds, scholarly work, and so It's probably online. It's out of Alaska, and so you could have some other resources, and you could tell then that it'll tell you there also. Don't use these unless you consult your physician. Okay. Uh, what do I have here? I didn't want to play Mr. Potato Head with just my head looking here, so I brought samples so we could see and know what things. This used to be a great big. It used to be a great big a big root. And, I got this out of Kansas, and there's little pieces on the side. I put a rubber band around it. But if you chew one of these, it's energizing. They call it a plant for the elders because it empowers their body. They get sprightly. They move about and have energy. So I don't advise people to drink power drinks. I drink power drinks all the time and I cramp. My legs cramped that night when I was sleeping. I had cramps in my leg. Too much sugar or something because I'm diabetic. Oh, I had cramps, so I had to stand up and do stretching exercises to get the cramps out. No more power drink for me. So it must be bad for me. It might be good for everybody else and not me. You know, it gave me cramps. Too much, probably too much sugar or something that really affected my muscles. I don't want to do that no more. Trial and error, right? If something isn't good, don't do it anymore. I hope I could say that to people who have addiction to drugs. If it's not good for you, don't do it anymore. Nah, they still have to help them. One of my friends had to go rescue his niece because she was stuck at a crack house, whatever that is. Anyway, she was in there and they finally got her out of there and took her to the hospital because she was barely talking, slurred. Why would somebody do that, right? If you drink something to make you slur, they'd be like, why would somebody do that? It's a sign that must be poison. Drink alcohol and then next thing you know, you're heaving, throwing up. It must not be good for the body. But uh, I don't know. Some alcoholics they self-prescribe. Oh, I know the prescription for that. Drink a little bit of this and it'll get well. You know, this one has a good one. Ah, I got well. Well, after that, you get sick again. Get something to make them well. Get sick again. It's a whirlwind of bad life. You know, it's a chasing the tail around and around. It's not good. My grandma and grandpa, they say, I heard them say that if you use too much of one medicine, you'll chase it forever. You know, and alcohol is a medicine, you know, but if you overuse that medicine, and you're always using it and you're following it and chasing it around to use every day, you'll be the first time at the liquor store peeking to see if it's open now. Daybreak and you're already there. Open the liquor store opens early. You peek around the corner. There's a blizzard going around. It's cold, but you want that jug. You peek around again. Oh man, it should open. I'm cold now. You're endangering your life just to wait for that liquor store to open. That's not a good way to live. You know, it's chasing the medicine. That equals addiction. Chasing the medicine. So we can't use too much of any medicine, even the hot peppers. You know, I have cayenne here, but I mix it with other things, the black pepper or other peppers to mix with it so that we were able to not give too much power to the cayenne itself. This is a mixture already. It's already mixture, so that's good. That way the cayenne doesn't lose its energy. Because if I use too much of it, then I want more, but it isn't as good as the first time when I tasted it. It's getting weak, and so uh, I always advise people, don't have to eat it all the time, but eat various kinds of other peppers, not one kind all the time, and that would enhance your uh, taste lifestyle. You have varieties of things that you can enjoy. I always have blueberries right beside me all the time. This is for today. I eat a lot of it. It's good for my kidneys, and so that helps my kidneys. Red grapes are good for your kidneys, and the chokecherry juice is good for your bones, your joints. You had joint arthritis, joint aches and stuff. That the cherry juice is good for your joints. Google it. They'll tell you, that it's good for your joints, and that's why we have chokecherry juice. We say it's a spirit food. Spirit meaning that the spirit of your body, and so it'll help your joints and it'll help you. That's why people who go to a lot of ceremonies, they have that cherry juice all the time. It's good to know when you go to a wake to support somebody. They always have spirit food, cherry juice. It's always helpful to live traditional because a lot of things that they're using are medicines. Using medicines. And a lot of our table foods, like when we're eating breakfast, and you add cinnamon to your oatmeal or farina, cream of wheat, or, bulgur, or I like the mush of the uh, milled cornmeal. I like to and always add uh, the refrigerated flax seed. So maybe a tablespoonful, maybe two in your oatmeal. It helps your blood. It keeps your blood good and strong. It helps your heart. That flax seed does that. It's a medicine. But we think of it as a food ingredient. And the cinnamon helps to coat your stomach. So in case you get some toxic foods during the day, that cinnamon would be a coat over your stomach to help you. Milk does that too. Milk is a good coat on your stomach to keep a lot of toxins at bay. So we have to remember, a lot of these things to include in our diet. There's a lot of modern plants and medicines in our lives now that are really helpful. We always knew about tomatoes because we had a word for it, but that's a good medicine also. And we didn't have like watermelons. That was more southeast type of a plant. And now my wife gets me one in the summertime. She gets me one probably every other week just to have that in my diet because it's a good medicine again for my kidneys and my liver. Now I'm getting old where I have to have protections uh, as my body starts to had been overworked and tries to uh, give up on me. But there's things that you can do to enliven your kidneys and your livers. And I'm learning about this because I got diagnosed as level 3 kidney disease. And so another good one is celery. Celery, I always eat that. I chop some up and then eat celery raw, you know, and that helps the kidneys. It's one of those ones that could reverse, the kidney from getting damaged even more by sugar or the things that are in foods like in bread and other carbohydrates that builds sugar in our body. Well, we need some things to withstand that, to have an equal battle with that. I love bread. But always get, last time I got a 15 grain, a good whole wheat bread, 15 grain. Oh man, that was good. Good. It makes a good toast and it's good and tasty and it's good for my body. Grains are good for the kidney also. So I got one of them last week and I had toast, one slice of toast in the morning, one egg, and oatmeal or cornmeal or something for my cereal, and so it's always be good to mindful that some of the more modern table foods also are medicines and that we could use and enhance our health our health life. Okay, looks like the buffalo still here, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. Do you have any questions?